What's up, guys? Let's not beat around the bush too long. Today is all about calculating pH. We'll take a look at how pH is actually calculated. But that does mean it would be quite handy to know what pH is in the first place. No idea? No problem. Just take a look at our video about it. The pH value describes the concentration of protons as the negative of the decimal logarithm. That's the logarithm using base 10 of their concentration. What? Let's make that simpler. The pH is a measure on a scale between 0 and 14, which indicates the strength of the acidic or basic activity of a solution. So, brain cells activated? Then on with the show. We are mainly interested in the question, how exactly is the pH value calculated? When do I type each formula in my calculator? But before we get on to the formulae, we have to check a couple of things off our list. First, you have to find out if the portion in question is an acid or a base. No problem, right? The second step is about figuring out whether your acid or base is classed as strong or weak. To find that out, we need the so-called pKa and pKb values. The A here stands for acid and the B for base. Those are the negative decimal logarithms of the acid or base constants respectively. The cool thing about these numbers is that you don't have to work them out. You can look them up quite easily. So what's the catch? You have to be able to interpret the numbers. That is to say, you should know whether a pKa value of -0.25 describes a strong or a weak acid. Great! And how do you know that? Here are some rules of thumb. If a pKa or pKb value is less than 4, then you have a very strong to strong acid or base. We would say an acid with a pKa value of -0.25 is a very strong acid. All values over 4 describe weak acids and bases. A small tip. This classification is very important. It's best to learn it by heart. You can also divide things even further, namely into very strong, strong, and intermediate acids or bases. But for us, only the distinction between strong and weak is important. But why is it really so important to know whether it is an acid or a base, and if it is a weak one or a strong one? For this, we're gonna open the hallowed hallways of the formulae for you. Here you have an awesome list of the formulae you need to calculate the pH. Honestly, learn these by heart and almost nothing can go wrong. Plug it into the calculator and you've finished calculating the pH. Yes, your next exam is saved. Sounds easy? It is. But pay attention. You've got to use a couple of small tricks to calculate it the right way. So that nothing goes wrong with your calculation, be sure to check out the corresponding example video. There, we'll walk through pH calculations for acids and bases step by step. Let's summarize again what's important here. When we want to calculate a pH, first of all, we have to ask ourselves two questions. First, are we dealing with an acid or a base? And second, does the pKa or pKb value describe a strong or weak acid or base? Once you have the right classification, you can choose the corresponding formula and get going with the calculation. In that sense, dive in and see you soon!